As Mr. Snuffleupagus was male. Named Snuffy Snuffleupagus. First name Aloysius.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Mr. Aloysius Snuffleupagus.
testing?
Test? You're
Testing.
back.
Yay, it worked. Okay, cool. I can live the life of a hero now.
And you're still in Yoncat.
Well, I didn't close out OBS.
It
That's the
doesn't.
one.
It was
That's the one responsible for the extra person because
Right.
it's using a That's how I record the whiteboard.
right, but that's not going to be recording our dialogue about Snuffleupagus.
No, that part was missing because of my finagling. I miss Bert. We need Bert to save us.
Yeah, Bert would be really, really awfully helpful. Um, really,
So are we still fighting this spider crab thing?
the arachnophibian, yes. Actually, if we're all ready to go. So, when last we left our heroes, they were exploring the rather disturbing dungeon beneath the sewers of the city, wherein the structure got a little bit too close to the dreams of a sleeping elder god, and so reality's twisted and warped and filled with all sorts of lovely, lovely thoughts that are real. The reason they're there is because they were looking for a way to break through the magical force field created by the Necropancer, who has apparently blacked out the sun and flooded the city with zombies, which is not a good thing for general consensus. In the dungeon, they encountered a very locked and sealed door, which had some crazy banging, which they wisely avoided. Went through a smoky black door filled with inky mist into another chamber wherein gravity was partially reversed, at least as far as the water droplets that were falling up and towards the ceiling filled with mouths, spiky mouths, large spiky mouths. Then they went through another portal and found themselves in a circular chamber where they presently find themselves, with a little cutesy little frog standing on a ledge, ribbiting. Tyler attempted to befriend said frog, at which point it lashed out its tongue and attached itself to Tyler's eyeball. With some quick thinking, he severed the tongue with his machete, pulled back, protected himself with an umbrella against the rather large uh, being that has now pulled itself out of the darkness behind the ledge, revealing itself to be a gigantic 8 foot wide spider frog that has since been severely roughed up, had one of its fangs cut off, several of its eyes ruptured or split open, and is looking rather. Oh yeah, and then was fed a grenade. That happened too. Um,
That's right.
uh, um, After that little bit of distraction, Marge, being well versed in animal and creature based, safely removed the tongue that was still attached to Tyler's eyeball and then stuck itself to his shirt and with saline rinse. Sterile ocular. And then we're back, still in this chamber, still with the irate spider frog arachnophibian and Tyler, aka Strikeout. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything.
Is it too late for peace?
Peas or
Uh,
peace?
Both. Because apparently we were camping shamed because we didn't bring food rations or water into the dungeon last session. I did get to that part.
Actually, yeah, because Morgan even told you take what you would take on a camping trip that you would need, and no one brought food or water. Like,
Well, you know, if we were actually heroes, we would, but I like to think of it as I'm not actually heroes, so I don't think of these things that are reasonable, you know. I think of
Right.
I think of silly things.
Certain details
I have a hard time
could be
managing
unsaid.
managing. I have a hard
Question
enough
mark?
time managing my survival in real life, much less my fictional character alternate identities. This is why I never kept a Neopet alive.
oh, I tried to keep Neopets alive. I'm convinced that
Cheat
they
code. You
die
need a
in
cheat
36
code.
hours.
I felt so guilty, but you know, it just wasn't happening.
Planned obsolescence.
Yeah,
I'm
there
not.
was one kid in my high school who had a Tamagotchi that had been alive, not a Neopet, but a Tamagotchi, kept it alive for 100+ days, and we're like, how the hell are you cheating? There's no way you can do that. I'm happy if the one I start on Monday lives to Tuesday.
So wait, I can't. Okay, what I didn't get to was what happened with the grenade. I feel like Shota maybe put it inside of the arachnophibian, but then it had its whole next turn to like spit it out.
Which it didn't do.
Did it
No,
actually
it blew up.
explode?
It blew up. Yeah, it
It blew
exploded.
up, and it was you all got a free turn on it while it was laying on the ground, scrabbling, trying to get up.
Oh, okay. I remember that round now where they didn't have any defensive dice or something for a while.
Yep, and you got to Shoryuken bowling ball uppercut the the spider frog, arachnophibian, potentially a frog spider.
It's vaguely coming back to me now. What do
Now,
I do?
you might
So,
remember that because. Oh, go ahead.
is it still prone now?
As of now, no. It got up at the end of its last turn. Marge had a chance to blast it with her call lightning, zarped it, and then that was where we ended the sentence.
You
Ended the
know,
sentence.
I
End of the
feel
session.
like I made a poor choice as Marge because I know I was thinking about trying to vine it instead and like restrain it. But I didn't choose that. I chose like the satisfaction of electrocuting it, and
Yeah.
sometimes I have to question my
You
mental
just got to go for
process.
direct damage right
I
now.
know. I'm
Direct
just
damage.
vengeful. Yeah, I was feeling. Yeah, I think I must have decided that Marge was all about nature's wrath, and it's not nice to mess with her teammates' eyeballs.
I think you actually used that as a quote.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, okay, now I'm understanding what I chose. Okay. See, this is why I'm like sad I didn't actually watch the whole last episode again to refresh my brain as to what was I thinking, doing, feeling at the moment of actual when we ended. So, I think Tyler. I'm trying to think of like what stupid things could I do versus what sensible
Well,
things I could do.
nothing can be stupider than what you did. One thing Tyler did last week was while the tongue was attached to his eyes, he tried to go full on Jedi and let the Force guide his bowling ball and chuck the ball and brain Shota in the back of the head.
I don't think that was stupid. That was just bad rolling.
Yeah.
But that was totally in character though, because he's been practicing not using his eyesight in playing video games, so he can get back into that which he loves. So I think he was like just trying to push too hard, too fast, and thinking this was going to be his moment, and it didn't work out for Shota's head. But in terms of drama, I think that was on point.
But as far as strikeouts Tommy skills are going, you did actually hit something.
I
So
did
there
hit
is that.
something, yeah.
The fact that Shota was in between you and the spider frog.
No, the stupid thing I was thinking about right now is like ignoring the spider frog altogether and just jumping down into the pit like that's going to do any good because like Tyler has good jumping. But we don't know how deep that pit is and Tyler doesn't have any stopping falling skills. So I have tabled that concept for now, and I'm just going to
no,
throw
Tyler,
little.
wait, hold on. Or is this is this part of discussion that I'm throwing in that we haven't actually gotten to yet? As if no, partially subjective gravity requires level 8, doesn't it?
No, he's thinking that happens in the future.
Yeah, that in
Spoilers.
the future, future that would be
In the
something to do.
future, that is something that is within him, but he has not tapped that power yet. Yeah, so he's
Yeah, future
considering that
strikeouts.
idea, but he thinks, I already accidentally hit Shota, who is a much better hero than I am. Perhaps today is not the
Thank you.
day to test myself by exploring this pit of unknown depths. The POUD. Yeah, the PUD. So he said
P POUD.
the POUD, the PUD.
This is a new
Have
Christian
we,
rock
have
band.
It's like
have we been
it's a metal band.
have we been at the cherry sale already?
Hey, it's an election day. I reserve the right to have moonshine cherries
Oh no, I'm not judging.
and maybe a little bourbon on the side.
All right, I need to catch up.
No, so I was thinking about that because I wanted to like do something like unexpected, but that's just a bad idea. Let's be conservative. Let's just throw little boom boom, she says 6 minutes later into her turn. Let's just let's just throw little boom boom at the arachnophibian. Oh yeah, I need dice. I have dice. It's just I did not have them in my
They're
hand
just in
during
a large
all
pile.
this talking.
Oh, this is great.
I could have been rolling while I was talking, That would have been more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, because the more you roll, the better the numbers you get.
The more you shake them, I find the better
Yeah.
numbers I get.
Exactly. Yeah, multiple long shakings.
I just find I roll badly. Period.
I also got to remember to roll the right dice.
Like I consider myself somewhere between Jerry Holkins and Will Wheaton on the dice cursing.
Ooh, okay, I did good dice there. I did an 18.
Wow. All right, he got a
Ooh.
12, or it got a 12. I don't want to presume the arachnophibian's gender.
It's a fucking monster. It doesn't have any gender.
It may not even be gendered, to be honest. We haven't explored
I
the
think-
anatomy of
It's
the
just a
arachnophibian.
beast.
Didn't we talk about life finds a way and that it's probably all genders?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is amphibians
Frogs.
have been proven to
Yeah.
to mutate their sexuality and their gender is survival, and so have insects. So this could be like whatever it wants to be today.
I've already forgotten what I rolled last for my attack. Did I roll a 16 or did I roll an 18?
You said 18.
It was
I got a
18.
12. Which
Okay,
is
so that's
difference
6
of
difference. And then for damage, I rolled a 12. So 12 plus 6 is 18 damage.
And now, when you got your damage, that was both the 2d6.
Yeah, that was 2d6 plus 10.
Okay.
All right, or 2d6 plus a d10 to be specific,
Right.
I guess.
Right. Okay. Just making sure because you got your super flashy weapon skills. Don't cut yourself short.
Tyler,
So that was an 18.
winds it up, whoop, and then little boom boom, swoops back because it's attuned.
You swoop it back, and as you do, it leaves a crack in the moist, rubbery, and yet somehow still chitinous and hairy shell right above the where the head would be. Not quite enough to cause 2 injury rings, but enough to definitely get its attention. Shota.
Thonk, crackle.
Oh, would you like
Yes.
to move before ending your turn?
I think moving away from right in front of its face might be a good option. I'm gonna go over here.
All right. Shota, having recently been having your shoulder pierced again with its fang. Actually, no, it didn't pierce. The boom boom that did your first damage, right? And then the fang was the first. The
I've been
second
bit. Yeah, I've bitten a couple times, I think.
Well, previously you were bit by a snake, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other one. That's
Yeah.
right. So okay.
But the snake did not do enough damage to pierce your damage threshold, and you saved on the resisting the poison. So it was just uncomfortable and awkward. The giant spider frog arachnophibian in front of you, on the other hand, that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
I will continue to mess it up.
In what form are you messing it up?
I will. Well, I'll continue to use. Yeah, the sword and the gun thing. That makes sense, right?
Well, just
Yes.
to remind you,
Well, I can't
is
use super
mechanically,
flashy.
The sword and the gun,
Oh, right. Yeah.
you have a lower
It's
roll
easier
on.
to hit. Yeah, exactly. It's easier to
Because
hit with just the sword, so I'll just go sword.
and because this guy has multiple damage thresholds, you still have the potential to do a big hit and do the same amount of damage that would be if you had hit with both the sword and the gun.
Right.
Also, guns at point blank range and echo chambers are rather uncomfortable.
So as Tyler scurries behind me away from the big beast, I continue to front in front of it. Do I have to move really? I guess no. I could just stay where I'm at.
He just
And I slash away with my super sharp fucking sword. Oh, that's a pretty good roll to start too. 18.
it got a 10. It
Boop,
rolled very
boop.
poorly. So it's 8 plus some damage. Throw me some numbers.
15. Oh, plus super 5 weapon skills. Damn it. 19.
So close. All right, 19 is enough to get it to cut through its rubbery, moist carapace and have it bleed out some greenish blue ichor. Ew.
Ha! I actually laugh like that. Ha!
It ribbits menacingly at you. That sounded more like an irate pug, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Ribbit.
It gives
There we
me great pleasure to know that it's upset.
Would you like to move, or does that end
Nope.
your?
I'll
Okay.
continue to sit in its wheelhouse here.
All right, and since you have done quite a bit of damage to it, and the one right in front of it, it's going to continue to attack you, or attempt to, with its one remaining fang. not, not with that attitude. Apparently, it's dazed from
I got 12.
Got a 5.
Oh, nice.
I got 2 1s and a 3.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, yeah, not with that attitude. Apparently, reeling from the severity of your blows and throwing dice into my slippers.
Hopefully not D4s.
No, it was a D10.
Okay. That would be
Unlike that
slightly
metal one
less
that
uncomfortable.
Yeah, unlike the metal one that I lost for like 3 months and was
Yeah.
utterly terrified to walk. All right. Marge, aka Mother Nature.
Okay. So I think Marge at this point is going to try to. She's going to try to shoot her vines so that she wrangles the legs on this spider frog.
Okay.
She wants to at least trip it up.
All right, all right.
so
So you're
that
gonna.
so that it is compromised trying to attack her heroic friends.
Okay, so we're gonna do a vine blight trip with intent to inhibit its combat capabilities.
Yes. And if she's really super successful, I would hope that she can like swick the vine around its legs and like tie it up a little like a calf. That's the
That
Ooh,
dream.
some calf roping happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Like if she was trying to catch a runaway zebra.
a full on hog tie. That you gather just from your own personal experience as a large animal veterinarian that examining the way that the joints move on this particular beast, tripping it and inhibiting it is a very likely possibility. Trying to get it to a hog tie kind of position um, might be a little
Is
difficult.
it
So
is it not really
the image,
possible because of like the bulbousness of the body versus the spindliness of the legs?
yeah, and one of the things you're used to with the whole point of the hog tying is you know, most quadrupedal animals, in that case, don't have their legs that move, have much range of movement out. Like it's mostly front and back, and that's pretty much it. Going left and right is limited, whereas the arachnid part of this, these joints can move 270 degrees. Like, that might make it a little tricky to. You can certainly try.
Well, I can certainly try, but I rolled all threes, so I got a 9.
Well, let's see if it rolls as poorly as it did last time. Holy shit.
Is that a good holy shit or a bad
I
holy
think it's a
shit?
good holy shit.
Have any of y'all seen Spaceballs?
Yeah, damn right I have.
Do you roll zeros? Is that what you're saying?
No, do y'all remember the passcode
One one one.
for all the fresh air?
Are you rolling like Bean?
It's one, two, three is what I
Yay!
rolled.
One, two,
Nice
three.
success.
That's default password.
So yeah, you zip your vines out Spider-Man style, one out of each arm, catching on to the front right spider leg of the spider frog and the left rear one, and you yank them in opposite directions, and the spider goes "Ah!" and loudly as it chin flops into the ground.
Okay, Marge is like superhero posing with her like arm outstretched with like the vines shooting forth out of it.
Now you do recall after having attempted a similar strategy with Harakuda, who is a much less monstrous thing to deal with, that in order to maintain this sort of hold, you will have to continue to fight against it trying to
Yeah,
break free.
yeah, I remember that. And hopefully the frog doesn't have a thing because it doesn't have a tongue anymore. So hopefully it doesn't have more tongues so that it can cut through my vines like we cut through the frog's tongue.
Yeah,
Because like
and from
Harakuda had hair that could just go wicka wacka.
right, and she also had ninja kicks and tonfas and all sorts of tricks that she could do. From your fighting with this bestial creature thus far, you, you're pretty confident that it's already shown you its bag of tricks.
Well,
Like
okay, guys, pound away.
Tyler,
Oh, I will pound.
Tyler's gonna pound. I'm like, where did my DA go? It was just here. I rolled you
Check
not
your slippers.
5 minutes ago.
blame the cats.
Okay, Tyler rolled a 12. Yeah,
And what is this? How is he attacking?
he is attacking with Little Boom Boom.
Like thrown or like?
He is like kabooming.
Okay.
So I should move my little dude. McProaches the spider frog and lays a splat down with little boom boom of 12 intensity.
All right. The spider does struggles and nearly gets out of the way, but with only an 8, you still. It is inhibited. It just rolled really, really well.
And Tyler rolled decently on the damage, so he got 14 plus the 4 difference. That is a damage of 18 again.
Nice. It kills me because you guys are just like tickling that second threshold, like.
Dink dink. Boop.
We're just teasing.
Or booping it on the nose.
Yeah. All right, but you crush down, watch it like almost like how an eggshell does a concave shatter, and there's the carapace just crackling in and oozing out. This looks like if you were to ever mix a blueberry Slurpee with Surge.
Hmm.
That's what's oozing out of
I was gonna say,
these eggshell cracks.
say crab for dinner, but I guess not. It's a whole different inside right there.
Yeah, you gather even though this might be the choice blending of the juiciness of frog legs and the deliciousness of crabby spider.
It's more like a Cadbury cream egg than it is an actual crabby thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe not. Maybe avoid eating this one. It doesn't smell very appetizing either.
Ooh, what does it smell like?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
Patchouli? It smells like
The opening
patchouli,
just
doesn't
got
it?
just got a huge whiff of it up your nose. No, you wish it smelled like patchouli. Did you ever have the kid in Asian class who would not take his PE socks home?
Oh yeah, pea socks. I know those socks.
Yeah. PE socks dipped in truck stop bathroom
Talk
water.
about funk juicy.
Yeah, that's the wrong. And now it is the frog's turn, who is going to attempt to break free from your grapple, Mother Nature. So I need you to repeat that roll.
Do I do an offensive roll or do I do a defensive roll?
In this case, it would actually be defensive
Okay.
to
Oh,
maintain the grapple.
I don't know why I'm asking because it's the same dice.
Well, it's an
But I guess
important question, though.
it's just defense in my heroic die though, right? Or is it some
No,
other die?
you still get
I still get my
your
vine
vine.
die.
Yeah, you still get your vine.
I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm having a brain fart. Okay. That is 15.
Wow. Okay. I thought for sure that the spider was going to break free. It struggles. It rolls in unpredictable fashions, ways you weren't expecting, and now you're getting a further realization that trying to do a full-on rodeo hog tie is probably not going to happen. It very nearly broke free with a 13, but you managed to hold on.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! Ish.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm so happy about that, but okay, yay!
So it tried to break free, failed, scrabbling around on the floor. Um, Marge, it is now your turn. If you wish
I think
to
we
just
did miss my turn.
I think we did
Did we?
miss, yeah,
Yeah.
Shota.
We did miss Shota's turn. All right, well let's retcon that back up a little bit. Keep the spider.
Well, I could just go after the spider.
Okay, that makes it easy.
Yeah. No worries.
Still
As it
restrained.
struggles against the vine and it's restrained, I'll just hack away. And feel the cold blood on my skin.
Hack at it like it's a Vespa.
And that's an 11.
All right, it got a 7. So that's a difference of
Whoop, whoop.
4. Maths are hard.
4, yeah. And, oh, well, that was a low damage, but total is 11.
Good enough. Good enough. You hack into it, bursting one of its remaining eyes. It is now down to 3 of its original 8. Ew.
Won't you
Very
just
gross.
go down? I've stomped on.
Oh, you can tell just from observing it. It is its chitin is cracked in multiple places. It's oozing this bluish green, slightly sticky ichor that smells of old feet and truck stop. And 5 of its eyes are ruptured and bleeding. It's missing its little nose frog that you guys broke into, shattered into pulpy oblivion with the Shoryuken.
Pulpy.
And pulpy oblivion. It's the frog's turn, which it already took, and Mother Nature. You can choose to simply maintain the grapple or actively break it and do something else.
I am doubling down on the grapple, and I rolled a 12.
Oh no! If you wish to maintain it, you do.
Am I roll free?
You already
Okay,
had
cool.
your roll free. You already we just did a contest to break it, and it failed.
Okay.
So,
Then yes, I am maintaining my posture, holding back the tide.
okay. Now back up to Bonnie again with Tyler.
The other me, let me change my
The other you.
face. And Tyler will again point blank try to splat right in the face of what, like he's gonna aim for an eyeball this time, one of the remaining 3.
Okay. So now at this point, she's basically Mother Nature is holding the spider down, and you two are basically just curb stomp.
I rolled a 1, but fortunately I rolled really high on the other dice. Okay, so that's a 15 attack.
Okay, it got a 9, so that's still good.
Woohoo! And okay, so 15 and 9, that's 6 difference. And then as damage, I do 15. No, wait, that's not a 9. That is a 6. So I do 12. So that's 17. No, wait.
Oh.
No, that is 12 plus 6. That's 18 again. That's my third 18 in a row.
Still tickling that second threshold. Just bring it down. Watch more of the abdominal carapace. Oh no, you aim for the eye. Burst another one of its eyes. It only has 2, the correct number of eyes now, as far as Tyler is concerned.
Yay!
It's laying there, struggling. The gas is going out. You can see the lights are going out. It's just making creepy noises.
And Tyler sees it suffering at this point, and he's like, we could have been friends! Smash!
Tears streaming down his face.
Yeah.
Purplish goo spraying all over him.
I quoted poetry!
Shota. It's possible you could finish this thing off.
Well, I certainly will. And I will roll. Haha, I definitely will finish this fucker off. It'll be, that's a 21.
Woo!
double 8s and a 5. So.
Exclamation point.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you hear the critical noise shing, as it comes down. Blade in between both hands. Almost like you're going for a seppuku strike, but straight into the top of its head. It rolls a 6. So that's a difference of 15.
Guess what I rolled though was my damage? 2 1s. So my damage is 17.
I almost want to see, like, does anyone have a style point they want to use?
I mean, I do. Why not? Let's just end this. I'll re-roll the 10-sided. Oh, for fuck's sakes. It is now a 2. For a total of 18.
Oh, it hurt. Down. Blade for the back, but
So yeah,
somehow.
yeah, Ricky he looks at Tyler, seeing like the sadness, and I just say, "I'll end this for you, Tyler." And I like kind of jump up on as much as I can, and I like look at him with a big smile, and I like stab down, thinking I'm just putting this thing out of its misery.
Instead,
Yeah.
you manage to get just next to a central nervous system, so instead of putting it out of its misery, you deal it a grievous injury and pin it to the ground. It's sitting there. While you're surfing on the body, you can feel the thrashing is very minimal now. It is going to attempt a very feeble break free and do it doesn't know what. At this point, it just wants to get back into its shadowy pit. And Marge, you didn't even need to roll because it got a 2.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would beat that.
So you can feel it trying to, it's like when you have a toddler that's trying to run away from you, and you're just like holding onto its arms with one finger each, like, stop, please, no.
Yeah, you got the loop in the jeans, or you got the overalls,
Yeah, but they're
and they're
they're
just
still
running in
trying.
place.
They're just giving it their all, and you're like, okay. That's basically the amount of effort that is being put in here. Um, yeah, you have more difficult times with Parker than you are right now. So that was the frog's turn. Marge, aka Mother Nature, you're up.
Hmm. Marge. Hmm. Do I try to finish it off, or do I maintain this and just leave it for other people? I'm gonna maintain her and just have her like continue holding on to the spider frog while the other people finish it off, since they've been doing a good job.
All right, easy enough. Tyler, it's
And
not quite dead.
and Tyler's still shouting, "We could have been friends."
It's all right, Tyler. I got it. I'm handling it.
You're like
I'm
twisting,
handling it.
you're like rotating the blade like a drill. Like, I got it.
It's about to die. Can't you see?
And Tyler's getting the goo in his face because he keeps trying to bang it with like little boom boom. And this time he gets a 13.
Difference of 8. Got a 5.
Whoa! I've never rolled such good things in comparison to the thing I'm trying to hit before.
It's restrained and almost dead. It's not exactly evading.
It's fish in a barrel.
Pretty much.
So there was a difference of 8, and for damage I've rolled, 5. So I'm glad that was the 5. So that's 13 total.
13 total. That's more than enough. You smash it in the head right next to where there's the growing hole of Ricky's spinning blade, and
We could
and
have been friends!
and much like spiders above ground do, there's this freak spasming, and you watch as its legs try and curl up, and it rolls over, but it can't really roll over, so it just kind of twitches and splays out in a horrendous display. And both of you are covered in this dank liquid. And the arachnophibian is now dead.
Guess we should have used the tarp.
In the sudden silence of the room, what do the three of you do?
At this point, okay, here's a question. If I drop little boom boom down that well kind of area to the east part of the room, Is Little Boom Boom gonna automatically come back when it gets to 100 feet away or 100 yards, whichever one that is, for the attunement? Or is
It's
it
not
gonna just keep falling subject to gravity if it doesn't reach a bottom by then? Or
it's not so much an automatic thing, but with your attunement, you can tell pretty damn close how far away from you it is. So it's more a like instinctively, kind of like a think of it like a yo-yo. You know when the yo-yo is going to hit the end of its string before it actually does. So you can pull it back instinctively, but if for whatever reason you incapacitated, then it doesn't automatically come back. But while you're conscious, yes, you can kind of get that ding 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 pull.
okay, so I'm gonna try with the idea that he's gonna like pull Little Boom Boom back if it gets to be 100 yards. Sorry, I had to sneeze. If it gets to be 100 yards and we haven't reached a bottom,
I'm just double
Tyler is
checking.
gonna like yoink Little Boom Boom back.
Checking the
And he's gonna be using his extrasensory hearing to try to gauge how deep uh, the well is based off of what he hears of Little Boom Boom traversing the distance.
I'm just checking the 100 yards. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure if it, like, I couldn't remember myself if it was 100 feet or 100 yards. Okay. So yeah, you walk over to the edge of the pit. And you fling, or do you fling or just drop?
Just drop.
Just
Yeah, because I'm not. I mean, gravity. Number one, and number two. I mean, he wants to. He's just trying to gauge distances and stuff.
walk over to the edge of the pit, let go, and briefly hear the as it goes in. Right before the 100, your little connection to it. Actually, it's not even close to the 100 yard mark. But your little connection um, goes link dead. About
What?
you just watch it and it's just not there anymore.
You mean Little Boom Boom's gone?
Oh shit.
You don't know. This has never happened since you've attuned it before.
Do we have rope?
That's a very good question. Do you have rope?
We do. I have rope.
And I think I have a bed sheet.
Well, no, wait. Wasn't that used to tie up the first snake?
Oh, that was. I don't have a bed sheet.
Cross the bed sheet off your list.
I have rope in my backpack.
Hi, Shota. I gotta get Little Boom Boom back. I've got to get Little
What?
Boom Boom back.
What just happened? You
I
lost Boom Boom?
yeah.
Like down there?
Yeah, because I was trying to see if there was anything down there, and I guess there is. But I did not discover the information I was hoping to discover, but now I don't have my bowling
Right.
ball, and if I don't have my bowling ball, I'm probably going to have a mental break.
Okay. Shota looks around and he whips off his backpack and pulls out the rope. I guess we're going after it, right? And he secures. I mean, the arachnophobia is pretty big, right? It's
Um,
got some weight to it.
well, it, it, here's the thing: spiders, while having um, a very large footprint, as you would say, on a battle map, um, tend to be very economical in their weight distribution. Frogs also, for that matter, very economical in their weight distribution. So this thing is about 8 feet in diameter from, while it's splayed out with all of its legs. You wager it's probably only about 250 pounds,
Mm, That's not bad.
which is,
I tie the rope to one of the legs, like right up by the body, of the arachnophobia.
Tyler watches you
Arachnophibian.
tying up the body, and
So-
he's like, I really should have just thrown the spider over instead and listened to it falling. That would have been a better plan.
Marge, while you're watching this plan going in motion from the notoriously, I don't want to say short-sighted, but less experienced members of the Shinies, do me a favor and give me a smart plus hero die plus animal handling.
And Marge is also going to examine the feet of the spider to see if there was any kind of sticky substance that might assist
So while
us
she's
with
looking at the
climbing
spider,
down.
I start to string out the rope and throw it over the edge of the wall. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And you said smart plus animal handling?
Yes, and of course hero.
So for me, that would be a 2d8 plus a d6. Oh dear, it's only an 8.
You're pretty confident, just in your general knowledge. As badly damaged as this is, that even at full health, those little joints at the edge of the feet that you're examining and the legs probably individually aren't built to handle, say, 3 people climbing down it.
Yeah, it doesn't weigh a lot.
Well, I mean, more like it would rip off, kind of.
Oh, I was thinking it would just follow along behind it with our weight on the rope, and we would all fall.
If the leg was strong, it would definitely happen. In this case, you're more convinced that someone would get over the ledge, get down about 10 feet, and then it would hear this sickling, and then it would just rip, and they'd
And would
plummet
come
into,
out like a crab leg.
yeah, kind of exactly like a crab leg.
Marge has her vines, but
I do the movie tug to check how secure my rope is.
How strong are you giving this a tug on? Are you giving it a full bore
just
tug?
just a good tug. Yeah.
All right, give me a strength plus your hero then.
And Marge is. Oh, let's go ahead.
What was my strong and hero? You said, yeah.
Yes, sir.
8.
You give it a mighty tug to make sure it's going to be good, and the foot comes right off and sticks itself to the ledge like one of those grocery store elastic sticky hands.
Oh, well, that's not going to work.
If it sticks,
Maybe I got to
you
tie it
must
around the
acquit.
whole body, right?
Oh, no, if it sticks, you must acquit.
I never quit.
How sticky though is it? Is my dealio? Is that what you're saying before? Is that the stickiness is not enough to hold a body like Shota's? Since he's so buff.
The structural integrity of a single leg was not enough to hold.
Okay, because that's what I thought. But but the stickiness does it have like that sweet suction that allows a 250-pound creature to climb?
Each individual one, maybe not necessarily, like 1 foot alone may not hold it. However, as you inspect the foot, as some sort of biologist, that while a spider's leg or foot, if you will, may look like it ends in just a single point, it's more accurately a series of tiny that branch out. Instead of tiny claws, it looks like an enlarged version of a poison arrow frog with the little sticky membranes on it.
Now I have that song in my head.
There's a song called Poison Arrow Frog.
Shoot that poison arrow into my frog.
I'm just gonna move on.
Marge has her vines, okay, but they're only 30 yards long rather than 100 like potentially we need. So I'm really sad about it. How about Marge like wraps her vine around the end of this rope as reinforcement just in case. Just in case. Shota needs some reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, we can lengthen the rope with the vine, and hopefully, actually, we just tie the rope around the body of the spider. That might be a better idea if I ripped a leg off like that easily.
So I'm worried the body of the spider won't hold it either, because I don't know. I'm half tempted that like Tyler is in pathos enough that he just jumps over the side right after a little boom boom. At the thought,
Go ahead and
using his jumpy powers to he just starts doing a super jump.
Oh, he could totally Ninja Gaiden off between the ledge and the circular outside of the wall and kip down. That wouldn't.
It's the landing, that he hasn't planned for. Much like Marge, jumping out of the top story of the Smegma building after Harakuda with a vengeful heart. This is the pathos of a man who has lost his bowling ball, leaping down
his dear bowling ball.
Leaping down, what did I call it? A pit of unknown
the
depth.
The
Pood. He leaps down the pood after his bowling ball in the dungeon.
Nice.
Okay. If there's not really such a thing as a wisdom save in here, but we're going to do this similar mechanic, which is going to be give me a. No, you know what? No, this is going to be charming and persuasion with plus a hero die against yourself.
These are not things I'm good at, I don't think.
You have to yourself.
I don't have persuasion, so this is not going to be super effective. So it's just going to be a d6 for my charmingness and a d6 for my hero die.
Oh, it sounds like Shota's perception roll.
Oh, and one of the numbers I rolled is a 1. I got a 6.
Yeah.
So
go me. It's my fall day.
As Marge and Ricky are playing around with the corpse of the spider, Tyler gets fidgety, more and more fidgety from one foot to the other, fingers where the ball is supposed to be a little bit, and then just goes, "Sorry guys, I gotta go," and hand springs over the ledge into the darkness.
Can I have a lack of style point for that? I would lack of style point.
Lack of style.
So, Tyler, you go over the edge, and with your super jump and just natural athleticism, it's no thing to just kind of do a parkour style bounce from one side of the edge to the other, zigzagging all the way down, until you notice that the darkness is not just from an absence of light, but it's actually swirling around you, and you are consumed in black.
Oh, is it a pood of annihilation?
Fade to black. Fade to black.
Marge and Ricky, you just watched Tyler vault over the wall. You heard several seconds of thunk, 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 as you watched him or heard him bouncing from one side of the wall to the next, and then it just goes thunk, thunk, thunk.
Marge looks down the pood and she's just like, fuck.
Okay.
I didn't hear a splat.
Me neither, but I guess we got to go down now.
There was no. It was just all of a sudden the absence of sound.
I think we got to go into the pit of unknown depths.
I would agree that we should go into the pit of unknown depths, the POUD.
The pood. Into the pood we go!
Now the question is going to be, how are you getting into the pood? Because from what you heard, there was a good, I'd probably say probably a good 50 feet of worth of him, excuse me, Tyler jumping back and forth. So that there's a definite drop.
You got a featherfall scroll? Or an item? You think these umbrellas work like Mary Poppins? That would be really helpful right now. If we had a bird that could, like, airlift us. Or an elephant that has really big ears. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what would Ricky do here.
I figure Marge should just use her vines, but I have a feeling they're not. I mean, the depth is different. There is different than the actual depth.
Oh, I have a 10-foot by 10-foot tarp. Can we try to make a parachute out of
Oh yeah,
it?
let's makeshift a parachute.
Yeah, using
like,
your vine maybe or some rope.
I think Marge will try to like vine her way down, but that leaves Shota kind of like.
Okay, well I'll use some rope to make myself a
luck.
Parachute.
Okay. Now, just to remind, which you may want to make a note of this, we decided or determined last session that your vines have an effective range of 60 feet and a maximum range, but there's your accuracy and ability gets dodged. So.
Oh, you said maximum range of what?
Maximum range of 100 feet.
But okay, I only wrote down the 60 range because I figured that is all that mattered to me. But okay, let me update.
Yeah, that's maximum accurate range, but you could very easily the ledge, zip, latch 2 vines down, and you wouldn't even have to rappel. You could just backwards walk your way down safely.
Oh, and I had vines on either hand, so I could like do one hand, and then I could like zoink the end of that with the other hand. Wait, that doesn't work, does it? I could break it off. Yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm grabbing onto though. Superheroing is hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah, who'd have thought that getting the powers was the easy part?
Well, I'll cut 2 lengths of rope and kind of make like looping like through each corner. So like on one corner or 2 corners, I'll have 1 loop of rope, and on another 2 corners, I'll have another loop of rope, and I'll just hold on to them. Like my idea is that I'm floating down while holding them above my head. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll draw it.
Oh no, I got it. Like Super Mario World style.
Yeah, like the cape in Super Mario. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a great plan.
Which led me to an interesting Google, which resulted in if you jumped off a skyscraper, like a bedsheet as a parachute, should you survive? And the engineer, or the first engineer, responded with, "No, you will not. You will, of course, be holding the sheet with holding the sheet with your hand. You won't be able to maintain the aerodynamic shape of the sheet for long. Let's say you manage to do number 1. Now you have wind that has caught into the sheet. Immense amount of force is preventing the sheet to go down, but your body wants to keep going down. You lose your grip on the sheet, and the sheet will slip out, plummeting you into free fall. Let's say you do manage to do number 2 by tying the sheet with your hands. Well, there's a reason why parachute belts hold onto your body, and using the pelvic bone as an anchoring point, your wrist points or your wrist joints are nowhere strong enough to support or to hold on. Nowhere strong enough as the robust pelvic bone is. You'll most likely dislocate the joint. Would happen next because I'm not sure if my ligaments and muscles will hold my body weight by hanging it. Followed by, let's say you are able to do 1, 2, and 3. You better hope the sheet does not have even the tiniest slit bit of hole or slit in it. The whole sheet would otherwise rip apart like the skin of an exploding balloon.
Good thing Ricky's not a physicist.
Yeah.
So this is my parachute. I drew it on the whiteboard.
If he was a physicist, he would totally be a Debbie Downer about his plan.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind. Yeah. Also, but before if you are going to execute that, make note that your 50-foot length of rope is now 225 feet lengths of rope.
Oh, I might just use. Yeah, okay, you're right. I'll cut it in half and do it that way. So I'll have 225 feet. 25 foots.
And also add a scratch. Well, don't scratch the tarp off because you can take the ropes off the tarp.
Yeah, the tarp won't be.
Easily.
The tarp is totally going to survive this.
Parachute that back to its material components. So for the moment, we'll say those 2 items have combined into makeshift parachute? Question mark.
Yep. Parachute.
Okay. So the plan then is to have Marge descend using her vines securely, and Shota leap off into the darkness using makeshift parachute? Question mark.
Yeah, awesome plan.
Totally.
We are super good at this.
Check you later. See you on the downside. And I jump. Yoink!
You realize that while it does catch some air and seems to slow your fall somewhat, you're still falling really fast. It does seem to help. It's kind of like when you have monk slow fall rank 1. Like, oh, you can tell you're falling slower. You're falling
helping.
slower. You're still falling. So you plummet into oblivion. And Marge, as you're standing there on the ledge with your feet planted firmly and whoosh, whoosh, vines on either side of you, red in a controlled and safe fashion, you hear the rapid fluttering of the tarp and then silence.
Wait, do I hear the tarp disappear? Okay, never mind.
It's just like someone pushed stop.
I don't know why I got confused for a second.
You might even hear Ricky, shouting like "Whoa!" because he's going way faster than he thought he would be going.
Just ah! That's pretty much it.
Oh, brother. So Marge just kind of sighs, and in a time to make the donuts way, that kind of fatalism. Time to make the donuts. She starts trying to climb down using her vines.
Easily done. At this point, you've gotten to where you can let the length of vine out and take steps backward. It's like you're watching an episode of Batman 66 in reverse, where they're instead of ascending the side of the building, you're descending it. Perfectly calm and controlled. Although the wall is kind of slick and gross, but then you creep down to the bottom, or what would you assume would be the bottom, and feel the inky blackness wrap over you. Now, bear with me a moment.
I should mention this time that I'm really impressed that you have a dead spider graphic.
Oh, I just turned it upside down and turned it red.
Yeah,
really cool
but
red.
still, it's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Tyler,
how are we gonna get out of this shebang?
you free fall. Well, not free fall, but you do your parkour, kip off the walls all the way down, and then suddenly, there is no more wall to land onto, and you fall, and expecting a jolting landing, you just stop, still surrounded by pitch blackness. Although in front of you, about 40 yards ahead, it looks like there's almost a window in the floor with light streaming up from it. You find yourself standing what feels like something solid, although you can't really see distinguishment between what you're standing on, any sort of wall, if there is one, or horizon. It's just jet black, and then in front of you, a window facing up from the air quotes floor.
Tyler has his hands out and he's like trying to, he's like, motioning with his hands like he's trying to like will the attunement of Little Boom Boom to kick in. So you just see him like kind of tense his arms, flex his hands repeatedly, being like, come on, Little Boom Boom, come to me.
You keep trying it, but there's that deep-seated dread in them where you know wherever you are, Little Boom Boom is not within 100 yards.
And he's floating above this window thing.
No, imagine if you were standing in utter blackness with no visible discernible floor, but you're standing on something. But then 40 or so yards ahead of you is a rectangle of light, seemingly coming from the floor with lights beams coming up from it. Like it would be a hole in the ground, so to speak,
Can he
with light
run?
coming up
Can
from it.
he run in multiple directions?
You run around and nothing seems to prevent you from moving in any direction. It's disturbing because you can hear yourself breathing, but your footsteps makes no sound.
And how does the location of the window, does it stay relative like to the distance he's moving?
Go ahead and give me a smart check. Smart plus perception. Or
That's
not, sorry, not smart plus perception. Smart plus your hero die.
9.
Good enough? Yes. As far as you can tell, I mean, it's a little difficult to judge exact distances based on the fact that you have no other point of visual orientation or
But there
uh,
still seems to be a sense of spatial relativism that is not abnormal.
it appears to be it appears to be moving as you would expect.
Well, since he's not feeling Little Boom Boom here, he's gonna go toward that light. Head toward the light. Maybe Boom Boom like felt that too.
Okay. Ricky,
Yes, sir.
similarly, you find yourself falling a lot more in a much more uncontrolled fashion than you expected. However, you find yourself landing in what appears to be still the damp cement and stone of the dungeons. Um, but you don't feel like you fell 50 feet. It's like suddenly after you pass through this black oblivion, you land. Maybe you fell 3 feet. Maybe you fell 1 foot. I mean, there's a oof, but definitely not like you just fell 50 feet. You take a look around. It's a large. Hold on, I'm going to put the shape in here because I don't know the name of this shape. It appears to be a, a large rectangular chamber with four curved decorative style outcroppings on it. In the center of this, there's a 1700s Edwardian style love seat, upon which, of all people, Irina sits poised seductively on, holding a hot, steaming casserole dish of mac and cheese, topped with
Oh,
perfectly golden toasted breadcrumbs. And she gestures for you to come over and have a seat.
is this really you?
She nods.
What's my name?
She smiles and says, "Do you want your real name or your mundane name?"
Whichever one.
"Why, everyone knows you, Shota."
Hmm. Uh, I will. I will walk towards her and sit on the very other end of the couch. A chaise. You
Mm,
said it was a chaise lounge kind of thing.
Basically, love seat, chaise lounge,
Yeah.
kind of draw me like one of your French girls. Send to the back. There we go. And
Which you got there?
your favorite. And she kind of like tries to scooch sideways a little bit closer towards you.
I just grab her leg with my hand real quick to see if it's a dream or something.
She definitely leaps at that and like, oh, like was surprised at how forward you are. Um, does not seem taken aback in any way, shape, or form. Just, oh.
And is it a real leg?
We're going to let's see here. What would that be? That would be smart. Do you have first aid or
Nope.
let's see if you have any. Let's see. No. What the hell? Let's throw bartender in there.
Shit. My farmer profession.
Yeah, from grabbing people's legs.
I got it's not a bad roll actually. 13.
13. As far as you can tell, it feels like a real leg.
Hmm. Here's the thing. I know I just fell like 50 feet and I could be dead right now. So either this is heaven or it's hell. And I put my finger in the mac and cheese and scoop some and try to eat it.
Okay, Marge.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that means I'm dead. I'm just joking.
No, it's called building tension.
I know.
No, I don't want to go there. I don't like
Marge.
this.
You, after being consumed by the blackness, suddenly feel your vines just let go, and they whip back into your sleeves, and you find yourself standing in the hallway between Parker and Chiffon's room in your house. Except the carpeting is a little softer than normal, and you look down, it's the wrong color. Uh, Give me a smart plus perception roll.
So this is obviously an illusion. Because I would never pick that color carpet. Wait, what did you ask me to roll? Smart plus?
Smart plus perception.
Yeah, Marge's skills are so much better than mine in real life. Because, like, how I forgot in 2 seconds. 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of
Well, the
twos.
magic number was 7, which is good.
Woo! Woof.
You realize, though, instead of carpet, that's not just soft, squishy carpet. That's skin, but it's not attached to anything. Like as you step on it, you feel that you can watch where it depresses where you step in and pulls away just slightly from the edges of the wall. Like it's just a layer of skin and blubber that is laid on top of the carpet and seems to somehow spill around corners into rooms.
Ugh. So Marge backs away from Chiffon and Parker because these
Oh no, it's their rooms.
oh, their rooms. Okay, they're not there, so she didn't have to contend with any kindergartners.
No, not yet. The doors are closed to
So
their
she's in the
rooms, but
hallway
she's in the hallway.
with really gross floor.
Yeah, really
She
gross.
definitely wouldn't have chosen this option at like the Lowe's Design Center or the Elephant World Design Center.
It is an unlikely choice for Marge, to say the least.
Like this is actually something that this is a thing, the thing perhaps that Elephant World doesn't carry.
It probably would not.
She tries to go toward the front door.
Okay.
Like
As
let us leave this demon house.
okay, you walk down the hall, and it takes a second to get used to keeping your footing on the squishy floor. It's kind of like trying to walk on a waterbed almost, just constantly shifting, and secure footing is nowhere to be found. You you know that in order to get to the front door from here, you're going to have to pass through the den, and then from the den is the open kitchen, and then at least either the front door down the hall to the right, or the back door, which is basically leads into the kitchen. So as you turn the corner into the den, there appears to be Chiffon sitting on a stool, hand feeding what once was Parker an endless supply of Twinkies. Evil glimmer in her eyes. She looks at you and says, "You said he could have his kid." And Parker is sitting there. Basically, you would imagine at one point he was also sitting on a stool, but has since become this endless ocean of flesh, which is now blanketing the house.
Okay. So Marge is aware that this is Illusion House. And she's going to be like, "Did you do your homework?"
Uh, you're basically ignored.
Alrighty then. She's gonna just keep on trucking toward the front door if she's can't like send a little weird illusion girl off to her room. She's gonna
Give
keep trucking.
Go ahead and give me a fast plus acrobatics check. Oh, and you actually have acrobatics. Holy
Oh, I
crap.
do. I was just double checking. I'm pretty sure I have a D6. No, a D4. Okay. It is obviously a purchase skill.
Not
Oh crap.
necessarily.
I rolled a 7.
That's just as much. As you're walking, the closer you get to Parker, you notice that uh, it's almost again like a waterbed blanket. As you approach it, the gravity shifts up as though the blanket is coming from something that was on a higher point than the floor. Like Parker's under there. He just looks like a face and amount of flesh right now. And you manage to keep your balance as you approach the kitchen. And scene slice back to Ricky. Sorry. And the endless black abyss.
Tyler's like, tiptoeing toward the light.
Tiptoeing through the tulips.
Head toward the light. And he's like using his ears, and he's like trying to hear, like, does he hear anything in this vast darkness?
It sounds actually, there's very muffled sounds, but almost like a factory coming through. Oh, that's a good one. I'll have to crop that one a little bit to shrink it down.
Oh, crop it, yeah. Can I crop it on this?
No, but I can do that real quick. Actually, yeah, you can if you have the snipping tool. Sorry.
I just did like a stock photo of woman, and this one was finger gun pointing, so it was funny.
Yeah, I can imagine her finger gun pointing you from like the love seat with like the bowl of mac and cheese in the
bowl
other
of mac
hand.
and cheese, yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. Representation of arena. Okay. So you tip the light, and as you approach it and get closer, yeah, it sounds muffled. A factory coming very clearly emanating from the light below.
Well, I'm still heading toward the light.
Just to put it in perspective for Tyler, especially, it's almost as though he's inside a three-dimensional game world just with nothing rendered. Like it's just black.
Oh, this
So
is
you're
like the
running
fog of
around,
war.
except there's no distinction between, like, there's not like gray flat plane for ground, different gray for for horizon. It's just all black except for this little rectangle of this window, if you will. You step closer to the window, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Are you attempting to be quiet? One might say stealthy about it.
I would say that, but like I don't think he has any stealth abilities. So it's more like he's just not shouting or running heavy stepped. He's moving cautiously.
Or you can still roll fast plus hero if you don't have stealth.
I
I
shall
mean,
do that.
you can still attempt to be quiet. You're just not necessarily trained in it.
Yeah, I'm not really rolled in it either. Got a 3.
Yeah, okay, no, you try and do the cartoon sneak and like stumble
But
over your foot.
these bowling shoes are really squeaky.
Those bowling shoes are made for walking, not for sneaking.
So he's like sneaky, but in a sea elf kind of way.
Exactly. So you get to the edge of the window and look over, and it takes a second for your eyes to adjust because you've gone from this complete and utter blackness devoid of anything to looking in on a normally lit room, what appears to almost be a overseer's office for a factory floor, so you're looking down on the office that looks down upon the factory, if that makes sense.
So it's like I'm looking in a skylight kind of situation.
Almost, yeah. And inside the office, there are two people. I want you to go ahead and give me a perception roll with your Smart Plus perception.
So that will be a 3d6 roll. And I got 14.
Okay, that's good enough to notice the fact that while you're looking down at these two individuals, they appear to be wearing clothes. But if you're familiar with I'm trying to.
I'm just so I'm 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 like unsettled by that. They appear to be wearing clothes, and then there's like a pause, and I'm like, oh, okay, where is this gonna go?
Well, no, they are. I should not have said appear. They are wearing clothes,
They're kind of
but
wearing clothes.
Clothing adjacent.
underneath it, instead of people, those artist models, the wooden artist posings for the humanoid body, which I have posted in the whiteboard. They have wooden heads with no ears and no features, and their hands are just flat slats of wood. They appear to be about 5 to 6 feet tall, in a general human average height range,
They're like Pinocchio Bros.
but they're moving
Like
of their own,
Pinocchio.
right, of their own volition. And
Like
one
Pinocchio,
looks to the
yeah.
other and says, "I'm sorry, we have to shut it down." And as you peer in, you watch the second one shoulders slump. It reaches over and pushes a button with its one flappy hand, no digits. Pushes a button and you hear powering down all the machinery below come to a halt. And with what was your perception roll? It was a 13, right?
A 14?
14, even better. Great. Almost like zooming in with a hawk vision, you look down into the past the two individuals through their window that they're looking down at and onto the conveyor belt, upon which you see that the machines that they have just stopped were making your favorite brand of frozen jalapeno poppers.
Oh! I got a stockpile.
Ricky, you have your finger dipped straight into the casserole dish of mac and cheese. Uh,
Yeah.
First off, which hand are you doing this with?
Well, I guess in our orientation, it'd have to be my right hand, I guess.
Well, no, if you're sitting, you can angle yourself sideways. That's easy enough to do. Easy
No, I'll
enough to
just
use
use
your
my right
left if you wish.
hand.
Well, the reason I ask, and this is something that you have caught on to, is it was steaming hot mac and cheese. One of your hands can feel heat pain and the other cannot.
That's right.
And that would be your left one that can't.
That's right.
So you're going to use the one that will knowingly burn itself.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess I'll know if it's real or not.
It's fucking hot. Like that is napalm cheese you just stuck your finger in.
Yeah.
You get to about the first knuckle of your forefinger before that message hits your brain. Ow, 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 ow.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
Now you have the
And I
decision
obviously
tree.
will jerk back.
Okay, I'm about to say decision tree. Do you want to continue or recoil?
No recoil. Yeah.
Okay.
If it's that hot, for sure, I'll yank my hand back. How
Yeah.
are you eating this mac and cheese when it's so fucking hot?
Uh,
Gotta let this shit cool.
as far as you can tell, it's like it's been out of the oven for maybe 5 minutes. Like it's to serving temperature, but not quite. Um, to answer your question that you've posed to her, how are you eating this? She kind of looks abashed at you and goes, "Well, it's not for me. It's for you, of course. This is your favorite, isn't it?"
Well, yeah. I mean, it is. How did you know this? We've never actually really hung out and talked before, and now with you before me like this, I'm feeling a little flustered.
Flustered. Oh, that's the way you put it. Okay. um, yes, for those who are listening at home and the other members of the table, Irina is Shota's crush, the one who made him start superheroing after he rescued her from a con where she was getting accosted by some overly
Ne'er do
aggressive
wells.
fans. So Irina looks at you and says, "Well, of course, you're famous, Shota. You're all over the news. Everyone knows this is your favorite. I just had to show you."
Okay, well, I mean, it's a little hot, so can you put it down? I'll eat it later.
Go ahead and give me a Smart Plus Perception roll.
Oh, this is not good. 3.
Okay. Marge,
Oh, yeah.
you have managed to make your way across the living room, about to enter the kitchen.
Let's leave this crazy house.
Okay. As you step forward into the kitchen, you notice the back door slams shut. And you is Betsy Huffman
Oh, that
in
bitch.
oversized sunglasses and a floppy hat, who looks around, kind of glances at Parker and Chiffon, making all manner of gleeful kid noises and sloppy chomp note sounds. And down from head to toe in slow motion, and then toe back to head. And behind the oversized old Navy lady sunglasses says, "Figures, you were never a good parent to begin with. Of course this would happen to you." Behind her, you notice that the back door that slams shut is not actually a back door. It is a familiar onyx archway with smoke, inky tendrils of smoke filling it.
Oh, she's totally going. She will totally shove Betsy Huffman aside and go through that archway. Because if she's aware that this is illusion, she doesn't want any part of it. She's like, nope, don't want to play with this. Don't want to like have things trying to mess with my mind. And she would also like to take this opportunity to punch Betsy Huffman in the face
Oh, nice.
Oh,
because she thinks she can get away with it. You know, this isn't real life. This is a fantasy. And if I'm going to have a fantasy, I'm going to enjoy myself by, giving that bitch what for.
okay, so Marge is seizing of the is this the real life or is this just fantasy? All right, go ahead and I don't believe Marge actually has any unarmed combat skills, so that would just be
She doesn't.
offense
Does she need to
and
go?
hero.
Does she need to go all out and just like nature's wrath her? Because I'm fine with that too.
That's that's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'll
You
nature's
are the
wrath her,
one.
Oh
and
my.
Oh my!
she'll make some kind of
It's
comment
getting
about how the skin on the floor, like, ooh, Betsy, did you have another facelift? Because
Oh,
it looks just like my floor.
oh!
Oh my. And then Zarp.
And
That's
then
gonna get a
Zarp,
style point for that.
woo, and I rolled a 14 on my offense.
She got a 5.
Oh, good. So that's a 9 difference. And then my damage. Oh, you know what? I didn't even roll the right dice. I rolled a D8 instead of a D10 to hit, but that's cool. All right, and then another 9 damage, so 18 damage to her face.
Okay, I would like to point out there's a section in the book on page 30. And I'm putting which, oh, come on.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I was just trying to put it in the whiteboard, and it was not. So this is a section on page 30 titled "Getting Obliterated." Occasionally, when someone is subjected to overwhelming damage, creative things happen. In game terms, this is referred to as happens when an average civilian or bad guy is struck for double their maximum number of hit points in a single attack, or the killing blow reduces them to negative 20 hit points or more below zero. When this happens, the game master may opt to provide an extra colorful description of how gruesome the death was, or may prompt the player to do so, within reason, of course. The death should relate to the time. For example, being struck with a fire blast might burn the victim to ash, an ice attack might freeze and shatter the victim into 1,000 pieces, etc. Get creative with your destruction. See, you just did 18 damage to Betsy Huffman, who had 5 hit.
Oh, so she was like a cheap date even as an illusion?
That's the standard civilian is 5 hit points. Humans are squishy compared to heroes.
Yay, even illusionary, like strange weirdo world humans.
So, as you call down this bolt of lightning that appears out of nowhere, seemingly from the ceiling, Betsy Huffman, your nemesis, judging you for how you've raised your illusory children. In what manner would you like her fatality to occur?
Well, as the lightning comes down, it like, strikes her like on her head because I was aiming for the face. So as the heat, the energy comes close to her head, her hair ignites first because of all that like chlorofluorocarbon ozone layer destroying hairspray that she lacquers it down with. So like first her hair ignites, but then the force of the lightning strike splits her in two like a tree, and like the two sides of her body just split aside, and one timbers to the left and the other timbers to the right, and there's kind of like this crack sploosh noise. And I guess the appliances get sprayed a little. So it's no
Nice.
longer a hygienic kitchen environment. And she'll take that, Hey, my kitchen's messy now. I'll take it.
Okay, what happened to her sunglasses?
Oh, they just go to the floor. They got knocked off by the blast, so they just kind of, tinkle
Intact?
intact. Smoky maybe a little.
Do you wish to take the sunglasses?
No, I won't take the sunglasses.
Okay. So now there's a bunch of smoking, charred corpseification and match, in which you notice in a completely illogical fashion the Parker flesh carpet seems to spill around corners and creep into the kitchen, covering the tile, which is now covered with Betsy goo.
Does it seem to like react to the Betsy Gooness at all? Like, is it going towards it?
No, it's not like an ooze. It's just, as far as you can tell right now, a static carpet, almost.
Okay.
Like just has been there and slowly climbing.
All right. Marge is still intending to go through that portal doorway.
Okay. Do you just march through with
Yeah,
nothing further to say to
stepping
your
stepping around the body like whatever, and get on out the door.
cool moms don't look at explosions out the dough?
Yeah, we just walk away laughing, giggling a little bit to ourselves.
Did you hear me say, by the way, that you got a style point for the faceless comment?
Oh yeah, I need to put that on my thing.
Okay, just make sure you got it. Ricky,
Yep.
your fingers, tender. You've noticed absolutely nothing untoward. It looks like Arena. It even has her current makeup. Or she even has her current makeup on from the last time you did a photo search of her on her most recent tour, which was like 3 hours ago before you got in the dungeon. You're sharing the love seat with your beloved, holding your favorite food.
Yeah.
You're not sure if you're alive or dead, but that sticking the finger in the casserole did hurt. So there is that.
Right. Would I feel pain in heaven or hell? Around this room, is there any other than the couch? Is there any like doors or windows leaving out?
As far as you see, no. And this is
And
just looking along the walls. It just appears to be four. Could count the number of walls in this chamber. Okay, 4 walls and 4 curvy bits.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Um,
And the ceiling is now a ceiling, not a
no, the
blacky
ceiling is still that blacky smoke
inkiness.
oblivion. But going up, it's about, let's say, 15 feet high to the ceiling. So going up into the oblivion is a lot harder than coming down into it.
Right.
Unless you could reverse gravity.
Or jump really high for some reason.
What I would not give, I know why we don't have it, but what I would not give for to have dice camera action style face cams right now, just to see the amount of humming and face palming, and just to see the reactions in general.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's just garing,
I'll just
garing.
say, I'll say, what brings you here then? Why? How? I mean, I'm still going to be a little suspicious, but then it's Ricky. Yeah, I'll just say, so how am I graced by your presence here? Being still a little bit of suspicious, but hoping that it's almost real.
Why, you saved the city. Don't you remember? From the Disco Emperor?
Well, of course I remember that. But I mean,
And the
what
butt
about right
cracking?
now? Why are we here? Why are you here? Why am I here?
Why are any of us here?
I'm here because I fell into some darkness with a parachute. Is my tarp still on the ground there?
Well, that depends. If you left it where you landed,
I
or if
probably
you
would have left
dragged
it
it
where I
over,
landed.
then it's still there where you left it.
Hmm. So it's not like I
No, it
floated
didn't.
here
It
from
didn't
somewhere
disappear.
and everything disappeared.
No, it's still there on the floor.
Yeah, and I point to this is how I got here. I fell after I made this parachute, but you're here in this room. There's no doors, there's no windows. How did you get here?
I just am. Don't you want some mac and cheese?
Of course I want mac and cheese. Of course I want mac and cheese. Is it?
We all want
I'll
mac
take
and
a-
cheese.
I'll take a forkful now. Is it still super hot?
No, well, no, but it's warm, but you can pick your forkful up and blow on it a little bit and You know, like
Yeah.
just like pizza when it first comes out, you know, at the pizzeria and they serve it to you like at
And you're like,
3,000 degrees.
I need a piece I need a bite right now, but it's so hot.
Yeah, and you know that if you bite it, then you won't be able to taste the rest of the pizza or anything else for the rest of the week. So you have to like sit there and yes. You're at the end of that stage, but you take her fork, you grab it in. Give me one more smart plus perception check.
7.
Finally managed. Yeah, you notice while there is a fork full of cheese sauce as you're blowing on it, you know, and kind of holding it and, you know, just come on, come on. You notice that the pasta is not stationary.
Oh no!
What the fuck?
In fact, it's
What the fuck is this
moving.
happening? And I throw the fork on the ground.
You throw the fork on the ground, which
Yeah.
at which point your eyes, of course, track the fork as it hits. Ting, 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 ting. The contents of it spray across the floor in a stylish Nike swoop. I can't use that name. Sorry.
And a
Nikkei
swoosh.
swoop. And it starts wriggling individually in many individual parts. In which point you have lost eye contact with Irina. Just for a briefest second. Whip your head back around to look at her and confront her with this WTF kind of nonsense. And sharing the couch with you, Irina, is a large 7-foot long slug.
Ah.
But is it a sexy slug?
No, no. And you notice that now that the illusion is broken, the casserole that is held in that clutched in these pseudopods is filled with some sort of white sauce and writhing pile of maggots.
Ah!
And
I
the
knew it!
bits where the slug has come in contact with the love seat are slowly starting to dissolve and burn away.
Oh.
Tyler.
And yeah, okay, go ahead.
And scene, because of course we can't keep anything. We cannot have too many.
Must maintain tension!
Exactly. Tyler.
My poppers! Tyler is overcome with despair and he tries to crash through the window down below, shouting, No!
I was just about to ask if you had actually yelled that or if that was just an internal yell, but that pretty much summarized it. So,
Not my poppers!
now the good news is heroes, being heroes, are allowed to drop 10 feet without taking any damage whatsoever.
Plus, he has super jump, so he should be able to like do that, right?
Even if you didn't have super jump, you're allowed to. The first 10 feet don't matter for heroes.
First 10 feet.
Don't matter. Because they're heroes.
Ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing. So you drop down. Hollering. As you holler, now the question is, are you yelling as you're dropping down or did
Absolutely.
you yell?
Like
Okay.
he started yelling as soon as he heard this, like, you know, we got to turn it off, and he realizes that it's the poppers assembly line, and he's like, you know, it comes, it's like it's pulled out of his soul, this protest sound. And so it started before he even started moving and dropping through the window.
Okay.
Nay, even crash. Nay, I say, nay, crashing the glass with his fists.
Which is going to be really awkward when it comes to it. I need everyone to roll initiative. If you forgot how to do that, that's fast plus hero.
Initiative. This is what gets us initiative.
Yeah, no, I said everyone. Well, actually, not everyone.
Everyone.
Except Marge. Marge is fine. Marge is out of this one. But that includes Rick, Ricky and Tyler.
I'm like Marge explodifies a fake person, and she's fine.
She gets out of it. She gets out of it.
Wait, I've already for it's fast plus a hero die.
Yes.
8 for Shota.
It is 8 for Tyler. Twinsies. Do you wanna initiative off?
Oh no! When you guys have the same initiative, it's you guys get to choose who goes first.
Shota always goes
Which-
first before Tyler because Shota's better. And like even though he can't see Shota right now, there's that thing in me.
He just knows. Yeah.
We are an initiative, and Shota should probably go first because Shota defeated Butt Kraken single-handedly,
Unless you're disguised as a slug, Tyler.
and he saved the universe more than once, and he took a punch from the crab. So obviously,
Okay. So, legit question. We are at 11 p.m. and last time we ran through to midnight, which is fine by me, but may not be fine for everyone else. Before we begin this multi, are we good to continue on, or should we break
I
this off until
actually
next week?
do need to go to retire as a little adventurer. I didn't realize it was already 11.
That's why I figure we're at a good break point. It just got real.
Oh yeah.
In dimensions.
So next Tuesday we'll
Cool.
kick off with some feistiness.
And yeah, we will have Ricky versus Slug Arena and a pile of maggots, and whatever sort of trouble Tyler is going to get into against the wood factory people that make his jalapeno poppers.
Yeah. Gonna do it, man. Gonna do it. And find little boom boom. Oh man, I just started combat and I don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Well, no, you at least have a machete.
I do have a machete. I'm
If
not
you used it.
I'm not proficient with a machete.
Do you have light weapons?
I don't think I do. I think I just have exotic because I was always hoping I'd find a laser gun or an alien gun or something.
As far as I can see, yeah, you don't have light melee weapons for strikeout. And was it Tyler who took it or Marge who took exotic?
Tyler has exotic weapons.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Where are my skills? Exotic firearms. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that since it wasn't explicitly noticed or mentioned, since they had previously been stocked back up at HQ, that the anti-tank rifles were not brought with you because they're fucking huge.
Oh, is that an exotic weapon?
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's not an exotic weapon. That's the heavy firearms, isn't it?
Heavy.
Hold on.
But
Let me double check.
if I recall, though, like when we first grabbed them, it was not a big deal in terms of weight. So he
Oh no,
could, yeah.
But the thing is, these are like also the first time you picked them up is you were picking them up and loading them and then taking them back to HQ.
Right.
But as far as the actual skills, let me double check. I think that's not exotic firearms. Exotic firearms is things like alien weapons and magical shit. And
Yeah, maybe you can find something in this area. I don't know. Because it seems to be a magical alien place we're in.
here we are. Yeah, it would be classified as a heavy firearm, which includes rocket launchers, RPGs, heavy machine guns, anti-tank rifles, etc. And exotic firearms is for things like alien laser rifles, turbo plasma launchers, etc.
Yeah, I want me some lasers.
Laser.
I just wanted to be prepared in case we ever found some lasers I could go BB with. So
review.
yes, I could go BB with lasers, and I wanted someone to be prepared. Unfortunately, this is not a PBA laser factory.
Well, you don't know what you're gonna get. in
Who
here.
knows? Maybe
There's a-
he could start. No, he wouldn't throw jalapeno poppers at anybody. He would like try to chew on them. Maybe he
there-
can rip one of their arms off and slap them in the face.
feed
Why are
them
you
with
hitting
it.
yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
Maybe there was an item in Marge's house.
Well, damn.
Tisk tisk GM.
Wait, why are you GMing me? Or
Yeah.
tisking me?
Why would
You're
she
dropping
stay in
hints.
that house?
Dropping hints like Disturbed drops on the debut album.
Well, there's always the next zone.
And maybe in the next zone you won't be horrifyingly alone.
Maybe. Uh-oh. Wait.
Because nothing messes with the player better than having them be alone. Soloing while great in DDO is utterly terrifying in tabletop.
It's not really cool. No.
No, it's really not.
I'm feeling a little bit stressed about the fact that Tyler just doesn't have Little Boom Boom. Like, I knew I was like risking something when I did the whole thing, but I figured it's something I should do. You know what I mean? Like when you make choices and you know it's a bad choice, but you feel like it's what you should do responsibly as a player in a game.
Well, what Tyler does know is that basically all it really takes is finding another pretty bowling ball that he really likes and then sitting down and getting to know each other over a few hours
It's
to attune
still
to a new.
not Little Boom Boom. It's like that'd
No,
be like
it's
just picking up another Vespa and painting it purple.
yeah, no, you've lost. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Tyler's now lost little Vroom Vroom
I'm
and little
feeling
Boom Boom.
I'm feeling the spiritual damage from this right now.
That's that's gonna take a toll on his judgment.
Yeah. Why do you think he jumped down through the skylight, screaming no?
Oh, no, that's totally.
He's lost his Vespa. He's lost his bowling ball. He can't lose the jalapeno poppers too.
Now they're trying to make him lose the jalapeno poppers. Yeah, that's rough.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome for a totally stress-free Tuesday evening.
Yay!
Thanks for coming, all.
All right. Bye, Steve. Don't die.
Thanks, guys.
Don't
Till
die.
next time.